That's not working out, is it? All right, let's go with that. Hello and welcome back. And that's the Sensu onions back in again. I say back in because this morning the blackbirds had uncovered quite a lot down here. So what I'm going to do is put a net over them, but also put a net over the carrots and the parsnips. So I've got carrots to sow, parsnips to sow, beetroot's going out, kohlrabi's going out maybe. The Chinese cabbage will go out if the kohlrabi is. Coriander, secondary potatoes, getting them started. Sorting out the blueberries and the fig trees, and there's so many seeds that I need to sow right now. So it's going to be a busy one, this is. Right, it's really nice to be working up here, planting into this bed, because I've got all these forget-me-nots. It's just a sea of colour at the moment. And another thing that we've been really enjoying is the florets off these two kales. This one's starting to flower a little bit. We've just been munching away on these florets. We've had a real good harvest off them. Right, that's really nice to get the beetroot in. I know some of them are a little bit more heavily sown than others, but as long as they survive, once they get to around about that height and they've survived, and I've got more than 5, then I'll just cut off the other ones. At the moment, I don't know how bad the slugs are in this area. So yeah, it's nice to get the beetroot in. It's one of our favourite veg to grow. And these radishes here, they're doing all fine. Same as the rat tail radishes. Right, so while I net this up, let's get onto these secondary potatoes. Right, it's nice to get back into here, out of the wind, and I've closed everything up just for the time being, so it's really nice and warm in here. So yeah, secondary potatoes. Now my first dairy potatoes, I use this method just to keep in more control, keeping the potatoes in here to give them a good start. And this is what I did. I put them into a 1 litre pot, a little bit of compost, and then just cover them up with compost. So I did that for the first earlies, and they seem to really worked well. Now that they're outside, they're really strong. I do bring them in at night, but they're really healthy plants. So I'm going to do this again with the second earlies, and again just keep them in here to get or take advantage of this warmth that we've got in here. So yeah, I'll just cover those up, and I've got another 8, 9 of those to do. But also while I'm in here and talking about the warmth, this is one of the problems or one of the issues that I've got. Is I was wondering whether to stick this kohlrabi out, and if we weren't going to have, or if the sunshine was going to carry on for another week, then I would definitely put these out into the bed or put them into a nursery bed, in that it will be in a tray and then another tray, so it's a bit more slug protected. That's what I was going to do with the big trays. It's just easier to do with this one to show you. And that's what I was thinking. I'm definitely going to put these on now. I'm not going to put them out into the bed. I think if I put these out, then there's a bit of a lambs to the slaughter. If I lose, you know, those to the slugs, I'll be gutted. But at the same time, I'm risking the chance that these are going to bolt in here as well. So if I put these on, and I may put these out later on into one of the beds, like I say, protected on the trays. So a bit more, hopefully, anti-slug. Same with the Chinese cabbage as well. Now I also mentioned coriander, and that's from my saved seed from last year. That's germinated really well, and that's from older seed which I bought. Yeah. It's not germinated really well at all, so that's what I'm going to be doing from now on, is just saving my seed for the coriander. I will be sowing a few more of those. Again, I don't know whether to put these out now into the beds, or do I wait for a little bit longer for it to get a bit stronger before it gets attacked by slugs. I've not seen that many slugs out there. At the moment, we've got the blackbirds just hunting around all over the place for slugs, worms and whatever else. But I haven't seen many slugs in any of the beds or slug trails as well. So I'm a little bit nervous about putting it out or getting confident thinking, oh, there's not that many slugs. And as soon as we get this rainy period for the next couple of weeks, the slugs just come out. Because maybe that they're not coming out because all the soil's that dry that I'm getting away with it at the moment. And it's lulling me into a false sense of security. So yeah, I think I may hold off and I may do it that I do that thing with the 2 trays and on supports as well, so it's a bit more slug protected. There's got to be a bit of an action man slug to get in there as well. So while I'm in here, what I'm also going to be sowing, like I said, I'm going to be doing more coriander and various other seeds. I've done all the flower seeds. I'm going to start off the dwarf French beans. Now I'm only going to do 6 at a time in the wet paper towel method again. So I can put 3 into, once they've germinated, put 3 into a pot, 9cm pot, and I have 2 plants of each, and they'll hopefully be ready to go out in maybe 6 weeks time. I don't know, usually I just directly sow them, but because I've got a bit of space in here, I'm going to give that a go. So I've got some earlier versions of them. You know, if I've only got 2 plants of each, what have I got there? I've got 6 different varieties, so I've only got 12 plants going out. That means I can hopefully start sowing again in about 3 or 4 weeks time, a bit more of a succession then. So what have I got? I've got Sprite, Amethyst, Dwarf Purple, Queen, Mascosi, Castandel, and a Golden Bush variety, Jaw. And they're all pronounced wrong, so we'll see how we go with those. And yeah, I'd like to get those out as well. Then we'll have French beans. We'll hopefully have the rat-tail radish pods still going strong. I will do another sowing of those as well. Once I've potted these on, I'll fill that back up and do a sowing of the rat-tail radishes, because those pods are absolutely lovely, very fresh, not as much hot as you would expect, but I don't know how they do from a spring sowing, because these are obviously gone over winter. So I know with radishes, they start to heat up as it gets hotter during the months. So we'll see how they go, but we're really enjoying those as they are, and we're just munching away on them. Right, onto these carrots and parsnips. This wind's playing havoc with my seeds all over the place. So I've got 3 carrots that I want to sow. I've got 2 Sean, Manchester table, and the giant red. Now I've already done the Manchester table, and what I've done is I've just done a thin layer of this potting seed mix that I've got over the top, because I think that's where I went wrong a bit last year. If I just covered it over with this stuff, which is pretty lumpy, I may not get a good germination. I really want some carrots this year. So I'm going to do, so that's Manchester there, I'm going to do 2 rows of the giant table over there to go with the parsnips, and in between here, so I've got the Brussels that's going to go here. Now I've had a little bit of a failure with the Bridget seeds. Brussels, I actually forgot to sow the seeds. I did all the holes and got distracted and thought I sowed them, and I hadn't, so they're on a catch up. The Brendans, they're doing fine, but yeah, so the Brussels are going to go here, and hopefully the Touchon, which is quite a fast carrot, that should hopefully be done before the Brussels take over this area. So let's get some of these Touchon in. Just got to be careful with this wind. For me, sowing carrots, that really is the start of the growing season. To be able to sow straight into the ground really is a bit of a pleasure. And over the last couple of weeks, we've had some real nice warm weather. So I'm hoping that that's a real big chunk of wood there, isn't it? I'm hoping that the soil is nicely warmed up, and with doing this light potting mix on top, I can actually see where I've sown. I'll take these markers out. It's not ideal to be sowing some flyaway carrots seeds in this wind. We'll see how we go. I'm going to have carrots coming up everywhere where I don't want them. Right, so now for these parsnips, if they don't blow away. I'm doing about 4 or 5 to each station, depending on how much the wind blows them out of my hand at the time. So I've done it 300 spacing by 150, and the carrots were 250 spacing. And again, I've pre-watered all of this, but you can still see that it's really dry underneath. So I will be watering these most days just to hopefully get them to germinate. Right, there are one through multi-sown. The seeds just kept on blowing off in my hand. So that's all done, and the carrots are done. So onto the blueberries and the fig trees next, before the camera blows over. It's already done it once. Right, I'm going to call this the shameful 5 minutes. I should have put it on this fig tree maybe this time last year, or maybe even the time before. It's been in this pot for years, and it's been very much neglected. So I'm really glad it's actually come back, but it is a bit shameful that it just hasn't been potted on. And it's definitely very much root bound. So let me just clean this up. Right, well, that's looking a lot better now. If there ever was a case for teasing out roots, this is definitely it. Right, so I looked up what compost you need to use. I think it's the John Hines one. I don't know whether it's number 3. Anyway, so I've got some of that, and they just say to mix this with a little bit of wood chip, which I've got plenty of. I've already put some at the bottom. So let me know, am I doing this right? Do you grow fig trees in your pots? Alright, needs a bit more, doesn't it? Right, that looks a lot better, and it's nice to see that it has got some flowers on it. I don't think we'll get any figs off it, but you never know. Hopefully it's a lot happier in this pot. Right, carrying on with the shame of the jobs which I've not done. Right, so this is the other job I desperately need to do, and I should have done this way back in January, even probably before Christmas, was to take off this top layer of bark and also the top layer of compost. What I'll do is I'll just replenish that, and I desperately need to give it a good water as well. There's so many flowers on this, and the bees are already going round and round them, but it's also got the blackbirds a bit interested in them as well. I do need to actually prune this probably in January next year, because it's a bit late now. So what method do you do with just pruning? I'm seeing a lot of people refer to the 3-in-1 method. So you take out the dead, the oldest stem. But I've been looking at that, and I've been looking at these plants, you know, if I took out this middle stem, I would really lose a lot of blueberries. That being said, that one's quite good. That one's good, but this one's not that much on them. I don't know. Because apparently people were saying that if you don't remove them, then as the blueberries, as the bush keeps on getting older, those older stems start to produce sour fruit. I've not come across this. I don't know really that much about blueberries. I've only just started to do the research. I know I've got cross branches all over the place. That's the tidy up I'll probably do in January, but I don't know. So any advice or any reference data that you could point me to, that'd be great. Right, that looks so much better with the new compost in. I think when I do the pruning at the end of this year, I may take it all out of the pot and completely tease around and try and get rid of as much compost and then completely change the compost for next year. Like I say, there's a lot that does need pruning out because they are rubbing against each other. But it is a very productive plant, so we've just got to see how it goes. So if you come across the, like I say, the 3-in-1, but have you come across the where blueberries on old wood have become sour? Because that worried me the first time I heard that, or when I started doing the research. So we'll see how we go. Right, and that's another good use of the sieve bark. I'm slowly getting through it. Right, there we go. And I'll give that a really good water. Like I say, it's desperate for it. Right, so we'll see how all those go. Hopefully those blueberries survive this wind, and hopefully the both the carrots and the parsnips do germinate. That's the fingers crossed, and all I've got to do is just keep on remembering to water them. Even if it has rained, it's got to be really heavy rain that I don't water them that day, because I just want them to germinate. Right, well, I'm still doing these potatoes. So like I always say, I hope you've enjoyed this video and hope to see you again.